Good morning. Welcome to the Commissioner Work Session for August 19th, 2021. We'll start with the Clerk of Courts. Morning, Patty. There's a little button
Morning,
on there,
Patty.
Patty, if you, green or red, if you put it on green. There you go. Thank you.
Fancy.
Morning, Patty.
I got the power. So if I turn red, do I turn you off? If you don't do what I want. Okay, I'm here requesting to approve a contract with pagov.us. What it's going to do is to allow me to accept credit cards for orphans court, marriage licenses, and through criminal court for people who choose to come into the office and use ATM or credit cards. I have given this to Keith in advance. He looked it over and said that the contract looked okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Now,
Yeah,
do you just want me to hold on to this and bring it back then at the regular meeting for signatures?
Gina?
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patty. My only comment, I guess, is that there may come a point when we want to look at
A
a
unified.
unified, because now we're having several offices
Yeah.
being able to accept credit cards. I think the sheriff's department just did one. I don't, there are other offices, so we may eventually get
Just
to a
for
point where
comparable
we'll,
costs.
yeah, have Mark do an RFP or something to coordinate them, if that would help everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Originally, we were gonna use what, Lincoln
Mhm.
Then COVID came and that kind of delayed, so
Okay.
at least wanted other corporate boards by using
Sure.
across the state.
Okay.
Great,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank
great.
you. Assessment Office.
Morning, Joe.
Good
Good
morning.
Morning, Joe.
I bring to you the annual contract renewal from San Martino Stout and Lepresti for appraisal consulting services for the period of September 1st, 2021 to August 31, 2022, the amount being $3,000.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Public Safety. Morning, Greg.
Greg.
Morning, everybody. Greg.
This morning, we're going to request approval to purchase a bed liner, undercoating, running boards, and a tonneau cover for the Dodge 1500 from Line X of Crawford County, in the amount of $2673. We pay for that out of EMA fundings with the vehicle maintenance at no additional expense to the county.
Do you have the vehicle now, Greg, or still waiting?
No, sir.
That's what I
It's
thought.
about
You're just preparing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they
been
give
on
you
order for over 6 months.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Correctional Facility.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Jack.
Jack.
Requesting approval for payment for training for 2 radiation safety officers as required by DEP for operation of our body scanner. The previous radiation safety officer retired. Cost for the training is $600, and that's for 2 safety officers, and I would like to have that funded with the commissary funds.
Okay, any questions for Jack? Thank you, Jack.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jack.
County Maintenance. A
Morning,
busy
Mark.
week, Mark.
Mark.
Morning. Requesting to approve an invoice for the new backup 911 center at the fairgrounds in the amount of $193.75 from Weber Electric.
Okay, thank you.
For the courthouse remodeling project, the first floor conference room, asking to approve bills in the amount of $1,815.35.
Okay,
Courthouse remodeling project, the window replacement project, for advertisements for the windows, for the Meadville Tribune, Titusville Herald, for $2,601.30.
okay,
Would like to request to ratify having Guzik Concrete and Masonry repair 120 plus cement blocks on a building at the fairgrounds in the amount of $3,900.
sure. And would you please relay to Mr. Guzik, we appreciate the time
Urgency?
and the
Yeah.
urgency. Not only that, with the care center work, I mean,
Yep.
it's great to have vendors available like that to help, so.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that
helpful.
building looked a whole lot better
Oh,
up
yeah.
there. With
Looks a lot better.
Even though it's polka dotted or.
Yeah, I think
Or
with
it
the
looks
rain,
like a
you can't get it
Pac-Man or
painted.
whatever, but
Mark
at
said he
least
might-
it looks stable.
He might still be able to paint it, he doesn't know.
We'll see.
No. Looks
We'll
good.
see. Yep, thank you. Requesting to approve the, pay the invoice to Thornbury Incorporated. They rehabbed the bridge number 36 on Tobin Road, in Crawford County for us for $97,761.50, and that'll be paid for with liquid fuels money.
Okay, any questions for Mark? Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
County Care Center. Morning, Tanya.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Tanya.
Morning,
Good
Tanya.
morning. I'd like to request to ratify the masonry repairs to the vestibule from Gusick Concrete and Masonry in the amount of $8,500 to be paid from funded depreciation.
Okay,
Okay. Request to approve the creation of 5 additional per diem LPN positions, 3616-009 through 3616-013.
So, question, I mean, in this time when everybody is looking for folks, is this something that can wait for us to formally approve next week, or do you want us to ratify
we can get it going.
so you can get it going?
We have 1 LPN position that is left.
Okay, so she should be okay, Tanya.
Okay.
If we could do it now, it'd be great.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so
So we'll
let's
ratify.
change that to
Ratify.
ratify for next
Okay.
week, and we'll sign what we need to
Good
sign
catch.
for you to be
Okay,
able to
thank
do
you.
that.
Thank
Okay.
you. Requesting to approve the Skin and Wound Management course. It's through WCC certification. That's for our Director of Nursing in the amount of $2,797, and that would be paid through Nursing Administration Training and Meetings.
Now, can you vouch for this Laura Potts? Do you think that? Oh, hey, Laura, how are you? Thank you for taking the class for us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a long time since
Yeah.
we've had those credentials in the building, and they are
Okay,
needed.
good. Looking forward to it.
Requesting to approve the contract with Advanced Dysphagia Diagnostics.
Okay,
Requesting to approve the contract with Trident Care Clinical Services.
okay.
And requesting to approve the contract with Interim Healthcare Staffing.
Did you send all of those to Keith?
I did,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
And all 3 of these are ones we've done business with before?
Interim Healthcare, I believe we have done business with before, and their nursing staffing, not the Advanced Dysphagia or the Trident Care.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Human Services?
Good
Morning,
morning,
Joe.
Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning, Joe.
First item is a contract with the Banco International for the AFCAR's Final Rule 2020 Work Statement. The AFCAR's Final Rule is an agreement with all of the 56 CAPS counties, including Crawford. And this is a project to automate a weekly data extract needed. And our cost for the county is $963.72. Then I have an MOU and transportation plan between Tidiute Community Charter School and CYS. These agreements ensure that we work together to coordinate transportation if a child is to remain in their school of origin. The 22-23 CYS needs-based plan and budget. This is the county assurance of financial commitment and participation. This budget is our worst-case scenario budget. The state will then review and make adjustments based on data collection and trends, and then they'll meet with the county to discuss the final budget projections. The total budget proposal is $17,962,885. The county share is $3,675,815. And the major changes that are impacting this budget are the Family First, which limits the number of days a child can stay in congregate care, and also continue to receive federal funds. Otherwise, the cost is shared with the state and the county. Regulations associated with supervision to staff ratios and caseload size, and the creation of a statewide data system. Seeking ratification for payment to the Center for Family Services for the distribution of emergency rental assistance funds in the amount of $101,177.63, no cost to the county. Seeking ratification for an additional payment to the Center for Family Services for the distribution of emergency rental assistance funds in the amount of $124,527.71 for the period of 7/21 to 8/2 with no county match. Purchase requisition to Amazon for the purchase of 9 air purifiers to be purchased with the CYS COVID funding. Total cost $4,169.97. These are special funds that have no county match attached to them. Purchase requisition to Crisis Prevention Institute for non-crisis intervention blended instructor certification for Rose Hillard, who will be available to train others in the county. Total cost $3,699, all paid with Systems of Care funds, no cost to the county. Purchase requisition to Dell for the purchase of a tablet for the ID program. Cost to the county is $133.28. Seeking ratification for a purchase requisition to Hagen Business Machines of Meadville for the purchase of a printer copier for the Transportation Department. Cost to the county is $383.40, and we worked with Mark Peaster on that. 2122, excuse me, CYS JPO contract amendment with Auberly. Auberly is receiving some additional funds to do surveys with youth between the ages of 18 and 26 who were independent living eligible, and if they take part in these surveys, they can receive a $500 stipend. There's no cost to the county. These are special funds from CYS. And the last item is a 2122 professional contract with Titusville Area Hospital. These are the same services we contracted for in 2021. This is for mobile psych nursing and wellness visits, as well as outpatient services at the clinic. Any questions on anything?
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gail.
Thank you.
Finance?
Good morning.
Morning,
Good morning.
Stephanie.
Morning, Stephanie.
For your approval, I have invoices totaling $23,341.62. The first is to P Corp. It is our claim deductible, $10,000. It comes from the county corrections budget. The second is for Crawford County Drug and Alcohol. It's the quarter 3 and quarter 4 HSBG match for 2021. And the amount is $13,341.62. That comes from the Human Services Block Grant. And then for ratification, I have invoices totaling $175,909. The first is to the Titusville Area Redevelopment Authority. It's for the Titusville 21 Flood Fund. The amount is $25,000, and it's coming from affordable housing. The second is to the Center for Family Services. It comes from the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, our fund, and it is $150,000, and it is the Emergency Rental Assistance Program is where it's being charged from. And the final is to the Times News. It's an invitation for bids on the windows. Well, did he get that?
They may have got
He
that.
may have gotten that.
No,
No?
we did the Tribune and the Herald,
Okay,
but not the Times News.
okay, and that was for $909, and that comes from the Commissioner's office.
Okay, any questions for Stephanie?
No.
All right, commissioners?
Okay, the first item I have is an Act 14 notification from Frank B. Taylor Engineering for NDPES permit to utilize a small flow treatment facility in Summerhill Township. This is for a single-family residence on Dixonburg Road. Second item is approval of the reimbursement to the Crawford County Fair Board for gate fees and vendor lease agreement fees associated with the 2021 fair.
Hi, Francis, you want to discuss that for us?
Yeah, sure, I'd be glad to. Yeah, we had discussed with the Fair Board at their meetings, and I believe we had discussed it before, due to the COVID and not knowing exactly what's gonna happen with attendance at the fair this year, that the commissioners agreed to, and the Fair Board agreed with us to make the fair free this year for everybody to come, but help with the expenses of the fair, because that's a large part of the income for the Fair Board. We agreed to give them the money that they would normally, on an average, get for the gate fee. And I believe Stephanie has some numbers that, for us for consideration on that.
And these are just estimates, but up to what they're going to be.
Estimates, estimated gate fees, up to $186,000. Vendor fees, up to $37,600.
Okay. And that would probably potentially be revenue replacement. We're still looking at where that could come from the federal dollars, because that's what they would normally acquire from prior years as well. We discussed that. I think last year we did give them a stipend as well from last year's fair that wasn't held, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Next item from the Commissioner's office is requesting ratification of the agreement with Meadville Housing Corporation, allowing Crawford County Fair to use the premises located at the corner of Leslie Road and Dixon Road for parking.
Francis?
I will turn that over to
Chris?
Commissioner Soft, because he's generally the one
There you
that
go.
has communication.
You are finger pointing everywhere.
Thanks.
I pointed both fingers that way.
This is just the
At least it's
annual,
not one.
this is the annual agreement for the lease of that property, and, for 2021, I believe it's $2,500. Going to the Meadville Housing Corporation, and we always appreciate the fact that they allow us to use that space for parking. And I want to thank Mark and his staff, because we, also maintain that property in terms of mowing and that type of thing. So it's a good partnership, and obviously that area is needed for parking for the fair.
You see if Bob could pave it by next year?
Sure, I'll say that Commissioner Henry would like it paved.
That's good.
And
Okay.
even though that agreement is with us, the fair board pays
Yes.
that
Pays the
lease
difference.
amount,
Good
not the
point, yeah.
county. But it had to be with us.
Okay,
Last item is requesting ratification for the resolution authorizing the expenditure of Affordable Housing Act funds for relief of flood damage victims in Titusville.
I'll handle this. This is just money that we utilize from the housing adjustment to our agreements, and it's with the Titusville Redevelopment Authority, who's working on any flood damage, and it should be actually Titusville or surrounding municipalities, because there are some people in Oil Creek who did apply, and we did actually send some other municipalities there who had some flooding issues as well. And I would like to say that on behalf of the commissioners, we're very thankful that the Redevelopment Authority did that at no administrative cost for us as well. So that's money that we want to get out to Titusville quickly, and that's why the money was sent there. With that being said, any public comment from anyone? Sir, go ahead. Just want to give us your name for us? And
Sure, good morning.
Morning.
My name's Blaine Wall,
Okay.
and I just came on behalf to ask or inquire about the, I don't know the correct wording of what you're talking about for the rural development through providing internet to rural
Sure.
areas.
Is your button green, Blaine, so we can, everybody?
It's
Okay, now go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Sure, you're fine.
It's okay.
And I live in Venango Township,
Okay.
just outside of Venango Borough on Bechtold Road, and near the Venango Valley Golf Course. I know Christine. I don't know if she'll admit that or not, but I've inquired about trying to get better internet service where I live, and apparently we live in a black hole. Part of it is because there's not many houses on the road. There's probably 12 houses that are on the road within a mile of Route 19. So it's not really rural, what I consider rural. I mean, there's other places that are more rural than where I live.
Sure.
And internet is a huge issue in not just where I live, but surrounding Venango Borough. I don't know what she has, but it's not very good. And it's frustrating. There's businesses on my road. People have a business or people work from home. And with COVID, you know, that's a huge issue these days. And it's a concern of mine and other people that live on the road. So I just wanted to bring to your attention the need for it. I've inquired about getting Verizon to come up the road and other companies, Armstrong. Nobody wants to put in the money to do that.
So we appreciate you coming, and it actually is timely because we actually partnered with Windstream. We have a grant that's actually out, and we're waiting for a result. I think it's in November is when it would be. It's a $5 million investment into Crawford County. Windstream has agreed to cover the 80% of the county they cover, and also this board has also set aside $3 million in rescue plan money, which that money is really going to be earmarked towards the last mile project. So and those providers and those projects are people like you who can't get that money, that line to stretch down the road. I would ask, I think it would be good to maybe sit and talk to Zach from the planning office. They have a new committee they created for internet for the county broadband committee, and they certainly want to hear from people just like you. And I think I appreciate you coming.
That's
We
why I
certainly
wanted to
wanna
come, to
fix
let
it,
you be aware.
Yep.
Windstream, I can see it right there. I mean, literally, the road that I live on, I have REA for electric service. Across the road is Penelec. I mean, REC comes down my road and it zigzags down my road because of the boundary lines.
Oh, okay.
Penelec goes through my property line with the main line. Years ago, they did storm damage, and I called Penelec to say, there's lines down in my property. They're like, why are you calling me? I don't have your phone number, and it's an obscure place where I live. I mean, I don't want to make fun of it, but because I appreciate where I live. I built on my property because it was my father's and my grandparents' property. And it's Venango Township. The address is Sagertown.
Okay.
Years ago, it had been a Camp Springs phone number. It's not Windstream provided services.
Okay.
So it's a confluence of all kinds of messes.
Yeah,
And
So-
I would say Windstream is committed to providing
Yep.
fiber optics in that area,
Yep.
as far as we
Yep.
know, which
Yep.
could provide
And maybe
you
they
one-
would go
1
across
gig
the
of
boundary.
service, so lightning fast.
Yeah.
So they're working on it, we're working on it with them.
Yep.
And I would be willing to sit down and talk about it.
That'd be
And-
great.
And there's other people within
Sure.
2 miles probably, and she lives within probably, you know, if you fly directly, it'd be a mile, mile and a half. So there's other people that need the services as well and would appreciate assistance in
That's right.
getting better service. I did have what it was called a jetpack through Verizon.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
That worked well. It didn't work well at times. I went to Starlink,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's worked fairly well, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it'd be better to have something cheaper for other people as
Sure.
well,
Yeah.
so.
Well, thank you, Blaine. Anybody else before me? I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. And I think that's exactly what we want to
Yeah.
hear and utilize that money for, so,
It's a little consolation, but you're not alone.
yeah.
I
There are a lot of-
understand,
lot
and
of
that's why
people
I
who are-
just, to bring your attention
Yep.
is.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay. Commissioner comments, Commissioner Wiederspin?
Well, in case anybody doesn't know, which I think is kind of hard to believe, that Crawford County Fair is coming up next week. Starts this Saturday, and there's lots going on up there already, preparation. There's lots of food vendors and already getting set up and more to come in, and all the various exhibit buildings are, work's being done on by the department heads. Mark's crew's keeping extremely busy. And poor Mark, I see him running around up there every which way. I think you ought to have running shoes on instead of work shoes maybe, but a lot of things going on, and we're gonna have a fair, and that's fantastic, celebrating the 75th anniversary.
Commissioner Song?
I would just say we're in the middle of election season. It runs from January through December. So it's always election season. So as we move closer to the November general election, I'm sure I'll have some comments about the need for, as we always do, need for poll workers and things like that. But that's all for right now.
Okay, and the only thing I would say is it's important that we support all of our departments and our groups. And late last night, the federal government is looking at enforcing vaccination mandates for our nursing home. And basically, it's anyone who receives federal money, Medicare and Medicaid services. And this is not a vaccination debate. The commissioners here all have said their piece on that. However, there is a concern because we are paper thin. Our ratio of employees to residents is paper thin, and without any insight and discussion with nursing homes, it would be disastrous to the nursing homes in the county to lose 10, 15, 20 people. Very concerning to me, and this is something that's obviously been in the news to other government ends, other business ends, but certainly something that's concerning to the care center, and they actually were working this morning on some other projects with that. So I just want to keep on everyone's radar that that's a huge concern and a concern for me. So we'll be keeping our eye on it. Anyone else? Okay, thank you all.